Now I'm going to show you one more thing we can do with the Select and Buffer tool. So let's go ahead and select Eagle Lake, and now we see this is why we have to have these things selected here before we select them here. Now I'm going to clear the selected features, select just Eagle Lake, and now we can proceed. Under Vector, Geoprocessing Tools, Buffer, our input layer, have to make sure that that matches what we want. Selected features only. This will work only on the selected feature. And I'm going to enter a distance in feet, and I'm going to enter a negative value. What do you think is going to happen here? I'm creating a temporary layer because I don't plan to keep it. Run, close. So what's happened is instead of buffering outwards, and I'm going to clear that selection there, there is the outer boundary of Eagle Lake, and there is an internal negative 300-foot buffer. So that gives the interior portion of the lake only. And imagine if we'd done that to this data set. Let's go ahead and try it out. So we want this one. Let's go ahead, Vector, Geoprocessing Tools, Buffer, Selected Features Only, Distance in feet, negative 300 feet, temporary layer, run, close, and there's no feature. Why is there nothing here at all? Because if you were to measure the distance across this, and let's measure a line, measure that line in feet, there is no place on this lake that is 300 feet from shore. So if for whatever reason we wanted to have that metric, we could find out which of these lakes and ponds has distance 300 feet from shore. This also comes into play when you're looking at forest stands and forest interior that represent a certain distance from an edge. There's wildlife species that prefer that kind of a habitat and some that require it. We'll touch on that later. But for one, we can select an individual feature and buffer only that, and we can apply a negative or internal buffer using the buffer tool. One more trick. Say we want to have only the shoreline area, so this area that's outside of that buffered area. So we have 300 feet from the edge of the lake to this interior lake, 300 feet. We can use the difference tool to do that. Vector, Geoprocessing, Difference. And that's similar to the Erase tool in ARC. So we want to use only a selected lake, and it is possible to do that while this window is open. So we're going to select Eagle Lake again. We only have one internal buffer here, so we don't need to do that twice. But we want to work from the input layer, lakes and ponds, selected features only, the overlay layer being buffered. That's the name of the buffer here. And that's going to create a temporary layer, run, close, close. Let's uncheck the lakes and ponds, uncheck buffered. So now we have the area that is within 300 feet of the shore of Eagle Lake.